Hi, I'm Dan, perhaps better known to you as GlenmoDan. Today we're going to make an old-fashioned made with Glenmorangie, Quinta Ruban. A single malt old-fashioned, you say? It's not sacrilege. You get to do whatever you want when you're making a cocktail. You make yourself and your face happy, and don't let anybody else tell you how to do it. So one of the things that we're going to do today is to play off of the inherent elements of Quinta Ruban and just accentuate them a little bit in the cocktail. And old fashioned is a really good platform for doing that. If you understand the whiskey that you're using, then you can take the characteristic elements of that whiskey and just play with them and enhance them, or play off of them a little bit and with the components of that cocktail, the tools at your disposal. So we're going to start with 2 ounces of Glenmorangie Quinta Ruban. Now, Quinta Ruban to me has a really compelling fruity element in the center palate, a dark fruit note, sort of a plum or cherry note. So I'm going to play off of that by using the influence of pomegranate. So that's 2 ounces of Glenmorangie Quinta Ruban in the glass. Now this is an old fashioned, so I'm going to build this in the glass. You can see that on camera too. I'm going to build it in the glass over this large nugget of ice. Now, an old fashioned being a very simple drink, a very old drink, obviously, as evidenced by the name. Whiskey, bitters, sugar, and a fruit component. Now, typically, you'd see that being an orange wheel and a cherry or an orange peel. I've opted for the orange peel, and I'll get a little fancy with it in just a second. You'll see. So now my second component is going to be a pomegranate and rosemary syrup. Now, this is a very simple thing to make. It's equal parts honey, water, and pomegranate juice simmered with a couple of rosemary sprigs, just to give it that sort of herbal cooling note that you might find in Glenmorangie Quinta Ruban. So I'm going to use about a ½ ounce of that in my cocktail as well. So I'm going to go to the shorter side of my jigger, and that's going to be about a ½ ounce right there. That's going to go into the glass, give it a really nice color. Pomegranate's got a really vivid color to it. And then my last component, I met a lovely woman named Kat Valentina earlier this week, and she makes a line of bitters and hydrosols at Elemental Spirits for elementalspirits.com if you're interested in checking that out. Now, this bitters is her basil bitters, blessed be basil bitters. So I'm still working on that herbal note. I'm going to give this cocktail just a blast of that, and then we're going to stir. Again, we built this in the glass in order to take advantage of this giant nugget of ice that I created overnight. I think it's going to really play well. All the characteristic elements of Quinta Ruban are represented in the ancillary ingredients that I've added to the drink. And I think it's going to work out really nicely. Now, the last couple of bits of this cocktail are going to be the requisite orange peel garnish. So that's going to go around the edge of this thing and then get expressed and dropped in. And now I'm feeling a tiny bit fancy here. So I've got some dried lavender flowers, and I'm going to drop that just right in onto the top of this drink. Now, why would you do that? It turns out that when you drink with all your senses, so when you drag this into closer to your face, the aromatics start to set a mindscape for you. Then you start to get a sense of what this drink is trying to tell you. This is just a communication loop, and you're just letting the story be told to you. The aromatics are beautiful. The drink is going to be fantastic, which of course it is. So that is the Pomegranate Rosemary Old Fashioned made with Glenmorangie Quinta Ruban. A beautiful drink. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at GlenmoDan. I'll be here every week doing the Glenmorangie Cocktail of the Week. I appreciate your time and attention, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.